Caitlin Long, the well-known former Wall Street executive, and now the entrepreneur building a brand new type of bank in Wyoming. She recently was on CNBC, and they asked her, what do you think about this market crash, and do you think that we need more regulation? Now, Caitlin had a very unique standpoint. She said, yes, we need more regulation, but we actually need more clarity to prevent the bad actors and not to distort the market. Here's Caitlin stating exactly this.
But do we, in an ironic sort of way, need regulation and some level of centralization in order to ensure that that decentralized vision can play out?
That's a great question. And I have been pro-regulation with regard to enabling regulation that prevents the fraudsters and crazy leverage players that burned this industry so badly in the last several months from regaining their position. One of the challenges is that the regulators, by slow walking the non-leveraged players, of which Custodia is one, they didn't give the market an alternative. And into that void of the slow walking that happened from the regulators filled all these fraudsters and frankly, some criminals. And that's the regulators work both with action and inaction. And in this case, I think their inaction caused much greater problems. That was especially true with the SEC, which greenlighted the GBTC as the one and only way that folks could gain exposure to Bitcoin in their brokerage accounts for almost 6 years. And that created an incredible market distortion because it was a closed-end fund that ended up trading at a big premium to Bitcoin. That hurt retail investors, and all these leveraged Wall Street funds could come in and arbitrage that and pick off the retail investors. How was that good for the industry?
Now, I think most people, when they hear the word regulation, they think about the regulators coming in, stopping things, shutting them down, and preventing the good actors from doing what they want to do. But Caitlin's point is really important. She's basically saying the people who are bad actors, who are going ahead and actually causing harm to folks, they should be stopped. And if you go and you look at most regulation, that's at least the intended cause of the regulation. Now, I think that Caitlin has a really unique perspective here. She's not saying that there should be tons and tons of regulation that not only slows down bad actors and good actors. She's saying we should be thoughtful. We should try to come up with regulation that clarifies what's in bounds and what's out of bounds. And if we did that, what it would do is it would prevent the bad actors, the people who are taking too much risk, the people who are doing things and not disclosing them, prevent them from actually gaining more and more traction. At the same exact time, what it would allow is the good actors, the people who end up actually trying to follow rules, who try to disclose everything, who do things that are in the best interest of their customers. Those individuals would be able to continue to operate. And then the customers, they would be easily able to identify good actors from bad. Now, that's exactly what we have in the legacy financial system, whether it's increased disclosure rules, the prevention of people taking on too much leverage, or rules around what banks and other financial institutions can do with deposits. I think the idea of that regulation being extended into the Bitcoin and crypto market, whether market participants like it or not, it's coming. And I think that there's a lot of folks in this new world who are learning why there are rules in the old world. And they're learning why things like disclosures can be so helpful in a market. Hearing Caitlin talk about this on national television is a great sign. It means that more and more people are starting to realize and understand and then verbally speak it into existence in the public domain. Regulation is coming, whether folks like it or not. Things like increased disclosures is coming, whether people like it or not. We can't sit by and expect nothing to change after over $1 trillion is wiped from a market and there's tons of contagion and lots of nefarious activity that's been exposed as the tide has gone out in this bear market. Times are changing, and it's the challenge to investors. You got to change with the times or risk being left behind.